public!
The film begins in 1974 in Northern Ireland, introducing a scene filled with suspense as two gangsters enter a local bar, completely unaware of the danger that awaits them. This danger comes in the form of Dorian, a sharp-minded criminal who has set up an elaborate plan with her brother Curtis and their partners, Harry and Ron. They carry out their scheme with precision, planting a bomb with careful planning. However, when Dorian notices schoolchildren wandering close to the blast area, she panics and urgently warns them to move away. Tragically, despite her attempt, the bomb explodes, killing both the intended gangster targets and the innocent children nearby. In the aftermath, Dorian, Curtis, Harry, and Ron quickly escape in their getaway car, establishing the foundation for the unfolding narrative. The next scene transitions to Murphy, an older man with a notable talent for handling a shotgun. He engages in a friendly shooting competition with Vincent, the local lawman. After winning, they have a conversation that hints at their concerns about the increasing crime in the area. That evening, Murphy goes to a bustling bar, holding a photograph that highlights a person, a well-known singer named Bart, who is soon introduced by the bar's announcer. As Bart captivates the crowd with his singing, it becomes evident that Murphy is not there just for the show. Murphy later drives to an isolated spot, revealing Bart locked in the trunk of his car. Armed with a shotgun, Murphy orders Bart to walk to a secluded hillside and dig. The scene takes a darker turn as Bart realizes that he is standing in what is essentially a graveyard for Murphy's past targets. During their final exchange, Bart shares his painful past but emphasizes that he has moved beyond it. Murphy, however, remains unaffected, making a final decision that ends Bart's life, burying him in the hidden graveyard marked by an ominous tree. This act solidifies Murphy's identity as a cold-blooded hitman whose motivations are driven by money. Murphy then heads to his handler Robert's home, where he is welcomed warmly by Josie. She engages him in conversation, asking about his favorite meal and promising to prepare it for him. The mood shifts when Kevin, a new member of the team, displays impatience by grabbing bread from Josie's basket. Murphy comments on the impulsiveness of youth, subtly criticizing Kevin's behavior. During a meeting with Robert, Murphy confirms that his assignment is complete and notices Kevin leaving in a hurry. He takes the opportunity to recommend that future jobs be handed to the younger man, expressing his weariness and revealing the grief he has carried since his wife's death. Murphy shares his desire to leave behind the violent life and pursue a path his late wife would have wanted, a life where he could be a better, more caring person. This confession surprises Robert, who asks Murphy about his future plans. Murphy shares an unexpected goal, to become a farmer and start a garden. Robert, respecting his decision, pays him for the completed job and bids him farewell. Murphy begins to transition to his new life, preparing his land for farming and purchasing a variety of seeds from the local town. He starts forming connections, such as having dinner with his friendly neighbor Rita and sharing memories of his late wife. One day, while walking in the neighborhood, Murphy encounters Moya, a young girl fishing on a bridge. He helps her by giving her a handkerchief for her fishing line. During their conversation, Murphy learns that Moya is fishing to catch dinner for her family. The moment takes a sorrowful turn when Moya accidentally drops her lunchbox into the water, revealing bruises on her neck. She quickly runs off, leaving Murphy puzzled and concerned. Determined to find answers, Murphy approaches Moya's mother, Alara, who works as a bartender at the local bar. He compliments her on her bartending skills and explains the incident with Moya's lunchbox, accepting the blame for distracting her daughter. Alara, understanding and appreciative of his honesty, accepts his explanation. Later, Murphy runs into Moya outside the bar and reassures her that he has already spoken to her mother. Although Moya remains silent, she follows him as he walks away. At Murphy's house, he senses that something is amiss when Curtis, the uncle involved in the earlier bombing, shows up unexpectedly. The tension builds as Murphy's instincts warn him of an impending confrontation. The next morning, Murphy visits Alara and hands her a basket of food for Moya. He voices his concern for the girl and receives a bullet from Alara, though she remains tight-lipped about Moya's bruises. Curtis arrives shortly after, making Moya rush inside. With an air of arrogance, Curtis demands food and implies that Murphy is hiding something before leaving with supplies. Murphy questions Alara about Curtis, and she reveals their connection by marriage and her wish to be free of him. Murphy takes the bullet to Robert and asks for help dealing with Curtis, explaining the harm he has caused Moya. Despite hearing Murphy's plea, Robert declines to intervene. Undeterred, Murphy decides to keep an eye on Curtis. He eventually crosses paths with Curtis, offering him a ride and engaging in a conversation that veers toward their shared interest in guns. Murphy shows Curtis a hidden weapon in his car's trunk, luring him into complacency before driving into a forested area. Curtis attacks Murphy with a knife, but the fight ends with Kevin intervening and shooting Curtis on Robert's orders. The narrative intensifies as Murphy and Kevin conceal the body and later relax at a bar. Kevin confesses his admiration for Murphy's skills and reveals that he, too, kills for money but lacks Murphy's experience. Murphy, however, is angered by Kevin's flippant attitude toward death and warns him against trivializing it. Meanwhile, Doreen grows worried when Curtis fails to show up and confronts Alara, followed by a visit to Robert. She discovers evidence of Curtis's death and kills Robert in anger. Josie, Robert's wife, hears a commotion and rushes into the room. Doreen, aiming the gun at her, tells Josie that her husband is dead and orders her back to her room. Determined to avenge Curtis's death, Doreen and her team are relentless in finding those responsible. Meanwhile, Murphy and Kevin, after hearing from Josie about Robert's death, reassure her they'll handle it. She mentions a woman aggressively asking about Curtis, making them suspect someone seeks revenge. They destroy all evidence of their plans and tell Josie to call the police, sensing the impending danger. Doreen's team searches the town for Murphy, and she becomes desperate to locate him. Harry pretends to be Murphy's nephew at a store, successfully getting his address from an unsuspecting shopkeeper. Sheriff Vincent, however, becomes suspicious of Harry's story. The group pushes on and finds war photos at Murphy's house that reveal his troubled past. Sensing danger as he nears home, Murphy tells Kevin to stop the car, and they watch from a distance. Kevin shares how he ended up working for Robert after winning a bar fight, while Murphy recalls how he changed from a soldier to a killer after his wife's death. The next morning, frustrated by not finding Murphy, Doreen damages his car. Kevin points a gun at her, but Murphy stops him. Rita, who witnesses this, makes a comment and is struck by Doreen. After Doreen leaves, Murphy and Kevin help Rita and call for medical assistance without identifying themselves. At Kevin's house, Murphy finds a newspaper about the Belfast bombing, sparking his curiosity. He buys a new copy and learns that Doreen and her team are suspects. Murphy locates their hideout, stocked with explosives. He then attends a football game where the team is present. Ron discovers their photos in the paper, causing panic. Despite talk of leaving, Doreen remains focused on revenge. Murphy follows Doreen to the restroom during the game but is caught when she approaches him with a gun. Murphy denies killing her brother but offers to reveal the real culprit. She demands he bring the killer to the bar that night or face severe consequences, threatening to bomb it. As night falls, Murphy shares his plan with Kevin, prepared to confront Doreen at the bar, admitting he may have no choice but to kill her. Kevin is eager for action. Murphy arrives armed, but unexpectedly gives Kevin money to start a new life, showing unexpected kindness. Inside, Murphy talks with Sheriff Vincent, evading questions about his work. He spots Doreen and approaches her as Ron, carrying a suspicious bag, enters the bar. Vincent, outside for a smoke, notices Harry in a damaged car and spots Ron with the bag. Murphy suggests talking outside, but Doreen warns him not to try anything. Kevin enters, acts flirtatiously with Doreen, and reveals he killed her brother, enraging her. She shoots him in the stomach, sparking chaos and gunfire. Vincent finds a bomb outside but faces Harry, whom Murphy ultimately stops. Kevin, dying, urges Murphy to go to California. Doreen, wounded, manages to kill Kevin before Murphy kills Ron. Murphy follows Doreen to a church, where she admits guilt and seeks death as penance. Before Murphy can act, she dies from blood loss. He buries her in the woods, marking the grave.